Anderson Cooper 360, weeknights at 8 and 10 on CNN.
Keeping them honest tonight, a year-long investigation by the Tampa Bay Times, the Center for Investigative Reporting, and previous reporting here on AC 360 shows that a small but aggressive segment of the charity world seems to care little about actually helping others. Instead, it generates six-figure salaries for some of the people who run the charities and feeds a multi-billion-dollar professional solicitation industry that only cares about profit. And what we've also found out is that no matter how blatant the scam or how obvious the proof is that donations are being squandered, no one seems to be going after them. CNN's investigative correspondent Drew Griffin tonight, keeping them honest.
Drive down these country roads outside Knoxville, Tennessee, and into this small industrial park, and you'll find the headquarters of a family conglomerate of cancer charities that return lavish salaries to their owners, but according to their own tax records, donate very little to dying cancer patients. And the last thing the people running this charity want to do is answer questions.
Don't turn your camera on me, okay?
Across the country, in Mesa, Arizona, another outpost of the conglomerate. It's called the Breast Cancer Society. Its CEO and executive director, the man escaping in the truck, James Reynolds Jr.
Excuse me, sir. Mr. Reynolds. Hey, excuse me. Mr. Reynolds, right here, buddy. Mr. Reynolds. Hi. Hi, can you stop a second? No, where are you going, Mr. Reynolds? Mr. Reynolds?
Back in Knoxville, there's another cancer charity, the Children's Cancer Fund of America. And this one run by yet another member of the family, Rose Perkins.
Hi, is Rose Perkins in?
She's unavailable and she's not doing any interviews at all.
Why wouldn't she do us any interviews? She's running a charity here for kids with cancer, right? That seems like a good idea.
It is. That's why I've been just told to tell you she's not doing interviews.
Can you tell us what you guys do? Any positive things you do with the money you collect?
Your questions to her email.
Okay, what's that email?
And we'll answer it.
If you were asking us for money, what would you say you did with your money?
We help children with cancer.
And how do you do that?
What do you mean, how do we do that? We help children with cancer.
Yeah, how?
We
In what
provide
way?
them a financial assistance.
Financial assistance, and do you have any idea how many?
If you have any other questions, please send them to her email.
Okay, my question.
Rose Perkins did email us and tell us her charity has a clear conscience because we feel we are making a good difference in people's lives, but also told us an interview is not something we can consider. That may be because of the questions we'd like to ask her and the other members of her extended family, who are essentially making a living on your donations. Rose Perkins, the CEO of the Children's Cancer Fund, is paid $227,442 a year. Her ex-husband, James Reynolds Sr., is president and CEO of Cancer Fund of America. He gets paid $236,815. And James Reynolds Jr., president and CEO of the Breast Cancer Society, has a salary of $261,609. It's money that comes from donors like you, who in 2011 sent these three charities $26 million in cash. How much of those donations actually went to helping cancer patients? According to the charity's own tax records, about 2% in cash. Example, the Cancer Fund of America raised $6 million through its fundraising campaign in 2011 and gave away just $14,940 in cash. But that is not what you would hear from the telemarketers hired by the Cancer Fund of America, run by James Reynolds Sr.
Okay, how much of my $10 will go to, who is this to?
Cancer Fund of America Support Services.
Cancer.
100%.
Okay.
Your donation goes into the fund where we purchase medical supplies for these cancer patients. We also do the hospice care for the terminally ill, and we supply over 600 hospice offices with medical supplies all over the United States.
But how much of my $10 will
It goes
go?
100% towards the charity itself. I'm calling directly from the charity and not a telemarketing agency.
Oh, well, that's great then.
According to the Iowa Attorney General's office, which gave us these recordings, those phone call statements are one great big lie. The callers were telemarketers being paid to make the call. The state of Iowa fined the telemarketing company $35,000 for making false representations. As for donations to other charities, The Cancer Fund of America claimed on its 2011 tax filings it sent $761,000 in so-called gifts in kind, not actually cash, to churches, some hospitals, and other programs around the country. When we called or emailed those other charities to check, many of them said they did get something, things like these supplies. But several of the groups told us they never heard of the Cancer Fund of America or don't remember getting a thing. The Cancer Fund also takes credit for serving as a middleman, brokering transfer of another $16 million worth of gifts in kind to individuals and other charities, many of them overseas. Those contributions double up, both as revenue and donations on the same tax forms. Back at the Cancer Fund of America's corporate office, even the chief financial officer, who, by the way, has a salary of $121,000, couldn't explain what was happening.
We just have all these North Mississippi Medical Center. Never heard of you. Yolanda Barco Oncology Institute. Nothing.
I know that's one of the ones that we looked up, but again, you would have to talk to him. I don't want
The him is James Reynolds Sr., the founder, who finally told us in an email his board thought it unwise to talk to CNN, even though in a different email he called the news of phantom donations, quote, most disturbing. As for his son, James Reynolds Jr., and his charity in Arizona,
Hey, how are you?
The camera needs to stay outside.
Okay, can he stay right there? Is Mr. Reynolds here?
I'm sorry he's not in right now.
the public relations officer for the Breast Cancer Society, Christina Hickson, who, by the way, is married to James Reynolds Jr., sent us emails telling us the Breast Cancer Society's guiding mission is to provide relief to those who suffer from the effects of breast cancer, and that we've made a difference in the lives of tens of thousands of men and women, but declined our request for an on-camera interview. And when our camera found James Reynolds Jr., he made sure we got the message with a single finger salute.
Drew, this is just unbelievable. I mean, you've done so much great reporting on this, on veterans charities that are scams, but I mean, these people's faces, I feel like, should be put on T-shirts, and everybody should see their faces and know their names, because what they're doing is just horrific. The fact that they're running away like cockroaches from your cameras, I mean, that tells you all you need to know. If you're running a charity and you're asking for people's money, you have nothing to hide. I mean, if you're doing nothing wrong, you should have nothing to hide. It's unbelievable to me. What's your estimate on how much cancer patients and some community groups actually did receive from the Cancer Fund of America or these other charities?
We took a look at these IRS tax records, their own reporting, along with the Centers for Investigative Reporting and the Tampa Bay Times. Anderson, we think it's just about 2%. Think of it. You give one of these charities $1, they'll give 2 cents in good to somebody out there. And that's just, you know, kind of our best guesstimate of this. It is really, as you say, it's ridiculous.
And the fact that it's like fathers and ex-wives and girlfriends and brothers, I mean, this is just insane. These people are probably living it up at country clubs in their communities, and I bet people in their communities have no idea of what they are doing, of the people that they are socializing with. And these people should be, you know, put on posters, I feel like. Are regulators concerned? Because it certainly seems like they should be.
Look, you and I have been doing these stories now, Anderson, for a year and a half. Now, we do know, we have a source with direct knowledge that says that the Cancer Fund of America leaders have been deposed in part of a multi-state review of these charities by various state agencies. But let's be honest, we've been laying this out for a year and a half. We've had interest from the Senate Finance Committee. I'm coming to you live from Cincinnati, where IRS workers had time to review applications for Tea Party groups, but nothing seems to get done when we lay it all out. We and our partners have a list now of the 50 worst charities in America on our website, and we're showing you how bad it is. I just don't understand why no one in government, whether it be state or federal, can do anything to stop this.
Do we have still photos, control room? Do we have some still photos of these people? Because let's just put them up. I just want to look at these people again and say their names. James Reynolds Jr. there on the left, James Reynolds Sr., the charming guy who said his board thought it wasn't a good idea, and Rose Perkins, I mean, these people, they're running away. It's like in that old 60 Minutes piece. Mike Wallace walks into a garage and people start running away. He's like, why are y'all running away like cockroaches? That's what these people are doing. I challenge any of these people. We will give them an interview. If you don't want to talk to Drew, you can talk to me anytime, anywhere. I will come down and meet you if you don't want to talk to Drew. I mean, this is unbelievable. We're going to stay on this. Drew, appreciate the reporting. Thank you.